Hi, I'm Jenny Miller of Let's Get Sewing. Are you ready to take the fear and frustration out of your sewing experience and finally get sewing? Then you're in the right place. Be sure to click subscribe so you don't miss any of my tips and tutorials. And check out the caption too. There's a link to my website where you can find out more about my course, Conquer Your Sewing Machine, and future courses that I have coming. And now, let's get sewing. Today I want to talk about a feature that you may have in your sewing machine. Now, in the description for this video, I'm going to put a link to a previous video that I did about how to tell the difference between functions of your machine and features or bells and whistles that your machine may have. This one is definitely under the category of feature or a bell and whistle type thing that your machine may or may not have, but I'm also going to show you what to do if your machine does not have this particular feature, and that is the needle down button. Now, the symbol for the needle down is pretty much the same on most sewing machines, so I'm going to show you what that looks like and how it works on my particular machine. And once you find that symbol on your machine, I think you're going to find that it works very much the same way. But again, if your machine does not have this feature, don't worry, I'm going to show you what to do to get the exact same result. So let's take a look at the needle down function. So every sewing machine has its buttons laid out differently, but generally speaking, this is the symbol that you're going to see that means needle down, and it kind of looks like the needle going through like your needle plate, I guess is what that's supposed to represent. And so when I push the button, my needle goes down, and when I push it again, it will come back up. Some machines, when you push the needle, it doesn't necessarily go down immediately, but it will stay down when you quit sewing. And so let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so if I was getting ready to sew this, I would hit my needle down button and get ready to sew my seam. And then of course, just sew as normal. And as I approach this corner, you'll see that when I stop, my needle stays down in the fabric. Now, with my machine, if I tap my foot pedal again, it comes up. But if I'm just sewing and I stop, it's going to stop with that needle down in the fabric. And here is the most common time that you're going to need that feature, because now I can lift my presser foot, pivot my fabric, and just keep sewing. Whereas if my needle was up and I tried to pivot the fabric, can you see that it can move all over under here? So you want to have that needle down in the fabric in order to pivot. Now, if you don't have that feature, it's absolutely fine. As you were sewing along and you stopped, you're just going to turn your hand wheel and lower your needle into the fabric so that you can pivot it. So again, that's why these are bells and whistles. They're not necessary to the function or operation of the machine. They just make your sewing more convenient, make things a little bit easier on you. But again, if you don't have that button, again, you're just going to turn your hand wheel until your needle is down in the fabric so that you can pivot. Another time that this needle down function is helpful is if you're sewing along and you notice that you're starting to get off of your seam here. Just gently lift your presser foot and readjust and keep going to get yourself back on track. Now, if you were to stop again with that needle up and you need to get adjusted, things are going to move off track here. And so again, if you don't have the button, you would still want to lower your needle to do any adjusting here so that you don't get completely off track with your seam. I hope that this video will help you to better understand your sewing machine, understand some of the features that it has, and what to do if it doesn't have those features, because that's totally fine too. Don't forget to go back and watch my video about the difference between functions of your machine and features or bells and whistles of your machine. And now, let's get sewing. Thank you for joining me today. My goal is to take the frustration out of your sewing experience, and so I hope my tips are helpful. Feel free to comment with any questions or ideas you may have. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Now, let's get sewing.